Hi guys, so Curse Crypto here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about what is cryptocurrency. So I'm just going to go through kind of the basic understanding of cryptocurrency, comparing it to our current financial system, and for any newbies here, basically, who are just getting into the crypto space, I just want to help you out really and just basically give you a bit of the information that I really didn't have when I started out. So, what is cryptocurrency? Well, cryptocurrency basically is digital money and it is decentralized. So firstly, let's have a quick look at our current financial system. So our current financial system uses fiat currencies, so like your US dollar, UK pound, euro, Thailand baht, whatever it might be. Wherever you are in the world, you use a form of currency. Well, all these currencies are centralized. And by centralized, I mean that for the transactions to work or for money to be transferred from one place to another, they require intermediaries. So what are these intermediaries? Well, fiat currency requires these intermediaries like governments, banks, or large corporations. So they control kind of that currency. So when you hear YouTubers say fiat this, fiat currency that just basically means the currency that we use today. So what makes cryptocurrency so different then? Well, basically, cryptocurrency does not need any intermediaries. So it doesn't need a bank, it doesn't need a government, it is not controlled by any entity or one singular entity. And how then how does person A transfer money or currency, to person B? Well, they can do this on their crypto wallets, crypto exchanges, but it's done through the blockchain. So I've got another video, I'll tag it in a link below on what blockchains are, but just summarizing it up quickly, blockchains are basically, a blockchain is where transactions, you'll have a block and loads of transactions will go through that block all in order, so they are all time stamped. So, for example, one transaction might go in at 1 o'clock, then 1:01, 1:02, it'll go all in order by the milliseconds, because there'll be thousands of transactions going through per second, depending on what cryptocurrency you use. So it will fill this block, and once that block is full, okay, that block is then added to the blockchain. And then another block will form, and then that will be filled and all in order of all the transactions, and then that block will be filled, and then that is added to the blockchain, and that will continue. With cryptocurrency, obviously there is more than Bitcoin. There are other cryptocurrencies out there. So when we talk about the cryptocurrency market, you have obviously Bitcoin, your number one, and then you've got others, which we will go through. So each cryptocurrency have different functions and utilizations. So the way I compare this is basically similar to how, we have a stock market. So you have stocks like Apple, which is computers, iPhones, technology, sort of that stuff. You've also got Costco, another big stock, but again, that's shopping. It's like a shop, sells customer goods, has really good really good food, really cheap food, and it is quite good. And then you've also got Nike. So Nike sells clothes, it's a brand, shoes, all these other things. They are all technically all different. They have all different utilizations, or provide a different service to people, and that's all it is. So cryptocurrency is similar. So number one, like we said, we have Bitcoin. So initially it was used to transfer money from person A to person B. That's what I mean by peer-to-peer transactions. But now, because it's a bit outdated in the sense of how many transactions go through, it's now basically a store of value. So it's known as digital gold. Okay. So next we've got, so number 6 is Solana. So that's number 6 in the cryptocurrency space. And Solana's use is basically it's fast and cheap transactions from peer to peer. Other things it can do is, it can form apps, but they're all decentralized apps. And it has many utilities like that. So just comparing Solana to Bitcoin a minute, obviously two totally different cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin can do 3 to 7 transactions per second. So that's how many transactions happen in 1 second. However, Solana can go up to 65,000 transactions per second. So that is very different, as you can see. And then another cryptocurrency, which will just, again, I've just picked them up random, is Chainlink. So Chainlink is another cryptocurrency. It's number 12 in the cryptocurrency space. And basically what Chainlink does is it bridges one cryptocurrency with another. So like blockchain to blockchain. So again, all cryptocurrencies have their own blockchain. So they're able to, Chainlink is able to obtain, verify, and send data from one cryptocurrency to another. So it's allowing it basically to communicate with each other. All right, so I hope that makes a bit of sense in the sense of you've got a cryptocurrency market, like you've got the stock market, but the cryptocurrency market, basically, like not all cryptocurrencies have the same kind of function. So why is cryptocurrency decentralized? So basically the reason for it is basically so no single entity or person can control it, which is a good thing. So like with our fiat currency, which we currently use, it is controlled by banks, it is controlled by government or large corporations. Cryptocurrency is not. So basically, how is this done? So on this blockchain or this network of a certain cryptocurrency, this goes across many cryptocurrencies, but it has a similar principle. Many entities or nodes, they're known as basically people with a computer, and there's thousands of people using thousands of computers. Okay, so what they do is they share the network of that cryptocurrency, and what they're basically doing is all these members are basically monitoring the network, and they do this because they look for any kind of dishonest behavior on the network. So all transactions are to be fair, transparent, valid, and all the members can then be like, okay, if they see something a bit dodgy basically and be like, that's not right, they can then be like, that transaction is faulty, or it's not correct. So all the nodes, if they approve of the behavior or the transaction, and they look at it and go, that looks totally normal, and thousands of people have to see that, the transaction will be complete. However, if the transaction is deemed as dishonest, not correct, then the transaction will fail, because all the members be like, even a couple of members be like, that's not right. They can highlight it, and then the transaction will not be accepted. And how this is done basically with cryptocurrency, it uses cryptography. So that's basically each transaction will have its own code. So that'd be like numbers, letters, etc. And if that is tampered with, so if let's say a hacker tries to get into the encryption or the code and tries to change it, well, straight away these nodes or these entities known as people with using computers will go, that's not right, and they will then be like, okay, and then the transaction will fail. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of why why cryptocurrency is decentralized, because it's more for the community rather than controlled by one entity, being, like I said, the government or banks, because it would just be what they say. Whereas when there's thousands of people monitoring this server, it's more fair. That's the idea of cryptocurrency. And lastly as well, all cryptocurrency, every kind of transaction is irreversible and it's secure. So like I said, because of that encryption of all those codes, so every transaction has, let's say, 20 digits / letters. If that changes, which it shouldn't because it's irreversible, but if someone does try to change it, again, like I said, members will see it and the transaction will fail. Okay? So let's have a look at fiat currency transactions versus cryptocurrency transactions. So we'll go into fiat currency first. So why would transactions in the fiat currency fail, or more likely to fail? So first of all, you look at, basically there's usually a transfer limit on how much you can transfer. So that can halt kind of, obviously, to us retail people. So basically retail is known as people with, I'm saying not much money, but not as much money as like large corporations who are known as smart money. But retail, we're not going to be having, again, if you're trying to transact £10,000, sometimes there are limits of £7,500. So you can only do that per day. The other thing is high fees. So trying to transact currency to currency can cost a lot of money. So it can make it sometimes not as feasible to transact in fiat currency, or US dollar, UK pound, whatever it might be, because it costs a lot of money. And also, account hacking is more rife in kind of fiat currency than it is cryptocurrency, just due to the fact of the accessibility. And then there's also, it can be technical issues with servers. So with this, like, if you're transacting with a bank and their server goes down, well, their server is kind of in one place. So if their server goes down or have any issues, you're more likely to then have issues transacting that currency. However, with cryptocurrency, how can it help or aid transactions? Well, there's no transaction limit at all, so you can transact as much as you like. Doesn't matter. Fees as well, fast and very low. So low fees, and it's very fast transactions. So with that, you can transact from person A to person B, like we said, in this cryptocurrency, and you could literally be transacting to your next door neighbor or to a friend or family member in Australia from the UK. So, and the fees will be exactly the same, and and it will be as fast. Okay, and also payments can be made or received 24/7, which is brilliant. Another thing I want to touch on as well, like I said, about fiat currencies, about their servers if they go down. However, cryptocurrencies have thousands of these nodes or these people on computers. Well, if 3 people's computers go down, or well, the network's still up and running, isn't it? So that makes it a lot more, kind of less susceptible to technical issues. And then obviously there's no paperwork required for the transactions. So once you've got your cryptocurrency wallet set up, or your crypto wallet, and you've got all your cryptocurrencies on there, again, you can buy more than one cryptocurrency, which I'll talk about now, and how you can kind of purchase cryptocurrency. Once you've set it up, there's no paperwork at all. So all you got to do is basically get the wallet address of your, friend, family member who you want to send that cryptocurrency to, and it will directly send it to them. So it's very simple. People think it's very complicated, but it is honestly so simple. And as I've started using it, I have found that. So, how to purchase cryptocurrency? So purchasing cryptocurrency, you can create a Coinbase account. So I've left the link right here. So you can just copy that, and just put it in your address up in the top bar, and it'll take you straight to Coinbase, and you can just literally set up a Coinbase account, nice and easy. I think the fees to start with are reasonably, they're probably one of the best when you're starting up, because it's very easy to use, and all you've got to do is set up basically your bank card of any sort, so debit card, and you can transfer money from your debit card, and then go for whatever cryptocurrency you're looking to buy. So let's say you're looking to buy Bitcoin on Coinbase. All you got to do is basically go buy Bitcoin. Because your card is linked, then it will pay for it in fiat to transfer over to that cryptocurrency, and then you've got cryptocurrency. It's that simple, and it takes a matter of a couple seconds. You've also got another one, Kraken, here. So Kraken, again, because I'm in the UK, there are certain exchanges. So just to let you know, these are exchanges. These websites and accounts. So basically, Kraken as well. You got the website here. Fees are a bit higher than Coinbase, I found. So I always like to use a Coinbase, as I've been in it for a year and a half. I started with Revolut. You can do it through Revolut as well. You can just go into crypto, you have to do a quiz before you do these things, basically to say you're not going to spend all your money on cryptocurrency, because that would be very silly. And then you're only going to put 10% of, let's say you make £2,000 a month, so you put £200 into cryptocurrency a month maximum. That's what they say. Okay, but this is kind of a gist here. So you go onto here, you can purchase the same as Coinbase, Kraken as well. You set up your card, and you can just basically transfer your money over into a cryptocurrency by paying for it there, and then you've got your cryptocurrency. I'm going to do another video on cryptocurrency wallets, exchanges, what's the difference, and that'll be in a link below on here as well, but I'm going to make that video. Alright, but guys, I hope this has been helpful, and just basically to summarize cryptocurrency in a simple nutshell, and in the comments below, just put in any kind of other terminology you've heard from other YouTubers, where you're thinking, I don't really understand what that means. I'll be happy to answer it. All right, guys, but stay well, look after yourselves, and hope you have a great day.